Hey guys, it's Nick here in Carrollton, Ohio.
Hey guys, it's Nick again. Hey guys, it's Nick. Hey guys, it's Nick.
Hey guys, it's Nick again. Another showcase. Today we have Garrett, aka Traegy Traegs on Instagram. How you doing, boss?
Doing all right, man. Not too bad.
Good.
It's Friday. Can't complain, right?
Yeah, I know. Thanks. Before we get started, thanks again for clearing your schedule up and fitting us in here today. It really means a lot.
No problem.
For everyone that may not know who you are, if you want to give us a little background on who you are, what you do, where you're from, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, man. So not a lot of people know my real name. I'm known as Traegy Traegs to a lot of people out there, but my real name is Garrett. Select few people call me Garrett in this world. In the regular world, I am Garrett. But I'm from California, Northern California, Bay Area. I've lived here my whole life. There's a little bit here and there, different places, but from Livermore. It's a little town outside of San Francisco Bay Area. We're like the furthest East Bay that you could get. But just a father of four that likes to cook food in the backyard, work from home. So I get to spend a lot of time at home.
Good stuff.
And I just get to enjoy stuff out here. Yeah.
Awesome. I know Chuck's Flavor Train is out in the Bay Area. Do you live pretty close to him? Or are you kind of far? Because I know it's a pretty big area, but
we're about 45 minutes maybe away from each other. We're actually trying to link up. We keep hitting each other up like, bro, like we live too close. Like, and so he's like, I got to tell my wife, and she's got to remind me, when we can meet up. So we're actually gonna meet up. We did a meetup up in Dixon, which is like an hour and a half north of me.
Oh, cool.
And we did a big, huge meetup with a bunch of people, and we were able to connect there too.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It is, it's always good to see, I run Instagram and see all of our community getting together. That's kind of what it's all about. I mean, it's good when it's good when, you can post, your single kind of things you do when it's just like, I'm looking at these tacos right now, the carne asada ones, I think they are, or
yeah, surf and turf.
Yeah, the surf and turf ones, those are crazy. But it is good when, you guys get together and combine minds and creativity. I think that's what most of it's about. Where did your love for cooking, grilling, and all that good stuff come from?
Well, so it's funny because I was a sports player. I played, football. I played baseball. I played football for 10 years, baseball for 13. I wrestled a little bit. I was always busy doing that. My mom was always cooking, always. But every once in a while, I'd throw down on the barbecue. Cool. And then during like football or baseball all-stars, if I wasn't on an all-star team or if I was in between tournaments, I go down to little league fields, and they'd have this big old pit with, tri-tips and burgers, and dogs and everything going. And the guy would actually let me cook on it.
Wow.
So I was cooking tri-tips here and there at like 12 years old, 12, 13, 14, 15, just, turning. It's really all I'm doing at that point, but monitoring, but, having fun with it. But
that's awesome.
There was a point in time where I actually didn't have a grill for about 8 years. It's when I moved out of my dad's house, and then up until about 2020, actually, because I knew I wanted a Traeger. I knew what I wanted. I wasn't going to settle, because once you settle, you're like, well, I can't go get something else now. I just bought this, and might as well make it work.
Exactly.
So yeah, in 2020, the wife was like, hey, Father's Day, pick which grill you want. I was going to buy it, but I don't want to mess it up. So you pick what you want, and then we'll get going. And then
that's awesome.
Yeah. And then just kind of learning to get creative with things and fun and learning from everybody.
Sweet. So it started off as something when you were a kid, and you're still doing it today. That's awesome.
Just having fun with it, just
exactly.
It started off with just let me throw this on and see if it works.
Yeah. What's one of your favorite things to cook? I mean, the tri-tip I think is, very, very common in the community, but then I also see you do some wings. Those wings that you posted, I think last week, were pretty awesome. So
yeah, so those lemon pepper were killer, but tri-tips that's California. That's tried and true right there. That's always a favorite to cook. That's what I know. But like, I started dabbling into obviously briskets. That's a big barbecue thing, and I started trying that a little bit. My very first brisket was summer of 2020. I did it for 1,000. Was it 2020? I think it was 2020 for my 1,000 followers. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do a brisket.
Wow.
Yeah, awesome. and then but yeah, wings, briskets, pork butts, dino ribs are probably my favorite thing though. Those things I love those things.
It's crazy that you say you only had, not only, but you had 1,000 followers in 2020, and now I'm looking here, almost at 13,000. So
I'm actually
that's
one away from
crazy.
13,000. I looked a little earlier. I'm one
Oh
away from
shoot,
13,000.
one away. You'll get it today, no doubt. No doubt.
Probably. I'll probably it goes up and down, but that's how it
Exactly.
goes.
Yeah. So what's been your process with all that? I mean, I know it's not easy growing overnight. I mean, it's given you 2 years to get to where you are, and so what's been, what is the things that have stuck? Is just staying original or
Yeah, just honestly,
videos or
what I tried to preach, and I actually just put it on, I think it was my last post. It's just having fun. Like
yeah.
this isn't like a lot of us don't get paid to do this.
Hmm.
Like a majority, I'd
Exactly.
say like 90% of us don't get paid I don't get paid. I don't get any
Yeah.
money out of anything. But just have fun with it, be yourself, stay true, network with people. I mean, like
Gotcha.
I was telling one of my friends, Rose Barbecue, the other day, like I could not go viral. I could have 100 followers. I could not go viral, and I'd be okay with it because I connect with
Yeah.
people. I get to talk to them about cooks, not just barbecue accounts. Like I talk to everybody and anybody that reaches out,
Cool.
like shoots like something on my stories. I'll
Yeah.
talk to them, and whether it's barbecue life, anything, it's just the connections that you get to make, and I'm okay with that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. So I see also, I mean, the one cool thing that stands out with you is, most people in the community only post their barbecue stuff. They kind of keep their family out of it, but I see you post your kids, your wife a lot and all of that.
Yeah.
So what's it like, balancing work, your passion and family? Do they kind of join in on things? Do your kids like cooking or what's
Yeah.
that
So
like?
like I have four, so my second
Awesome.
is very involved in he likes to jump out and see what it looks like. What are you cooking today? Even though he'll be like, I don't like that, and then he'll eat it and like it. But he always wants to see what's cooking. He always wants to see what's
Yeah.
happening. Every once in a while, he'll jump in. My oldest, he's really into sports, and he's just like
Sweet.
he's like sports and video games. He's good with those two,
Yeah.
and all right. My younger two are 3 and turning 2 this year, 4 turning 4 and 2 this year. So they're just kind of like,
Cool.
oh, you're outside. I just wanna... But no,
Exactly.
it's
Good
the
stuff.
balance. That balance is what you got to figure out. Like I just started a new job, and luckily it's from home, so I'll be able to
Nice.
cook throughout the day. But in these first few months that I haven't been able to figure out the balance of like how can I go out and cook, get some
Yeah.
content, come back, make sure my work gets done, and keep popping in and out. But I'm starting to figure out that flow, and then obviously with the family, like that's number one, man. That's
Yeah.
there's times where you got to take a little break here and there, just because you
For
got.
sure.
I mean, I got 4 kids, 3 in sport, 3 in baseball. So I'm going to be at baseball 5-6 days a week. So it's just going to be wild and, figuring out the balance with that. But I always make sure that everybody's okay with me posting stuff about them on my page. There's a lot of stuff out there that could be, negative and whatnot. So I always make sure that my wife, like, hey, are you cool if I post this? It's got you and the kids in it and this, that, and the other. And, she's like, yeah, that one will be all right. But yeah, no, I make sure that everything's all good with the family before I post stuff.
Did you know that this show is brought to you by Golden Protective Services? Let me tell you. Golden Protective Services is the industry leader in food safety products. You might ask, does GPS do other stuff than the best nitrile disposable gloves in the game? Let me tell you. We're everyone's favorite glove company, but we'll also be your favorite protective equipment company. We got mats, we got aprons, we got whatever you need, we've got it. Visit that link in the description below. So go on. I don't know what you're waiting for. Go visit the link in the description below because this is everyone's favorite glove company for a reason.
So, I'm still looking at this. I looked at it before, stuff like that. Kind of walk us through what your average cook looks like, prep time before. Is it kind of something you wake up the day before and you're like, oh, today I'm going to do tri-tip, or today I'm going to do this? Like, what kind of goes into the thought process behind your cooks?
So I try to plan a little bit here and there. It's kind of tough. During like sports seasons, I do have to plan what we need to eat a little bit more ahead of time.
Cool.
Long cooks, obviously, you gotta, like, if it's a brisket, you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna do a brisket today. Like that's like hey, I got a brisket. I have a pack of Snake River Farms dino ribs in my freezer right now, and I'm like, all right, I got to figure out when I want to do that because there's a lot of prep to go into before. make sure it's all ready to go, and then I'll throw them on usually like super early in the morning or overnight, depending on when we got to eat them. But I mean, it's not a whole ton of planning. I try to get a little bit better at that, especially again with sports coming up. But when if I'm trying to marinate something, which I've kind of been trying to dabble with a little bit more recently, I'll do that during like my breaks at lunch, things like that. And then that's way when I get off at 4:30, I'm ready to just start going and get it. Cause I mean, it gets dark here at like 5 o'clock right now. So
yeah,
I mean, you find the elements in that. Yeah. You're finding the elements, trying to be able to get it to get some good lighting for everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there any people you want to credit, supporting you or anything? I mean, I see that you're a Traeger guy, obviously. But any little, if you have any local shops out there that have supported you or that you buy stuff from, I mean,
oh yeah,
I know that Adventures of a Fat Guy loves using Lorena markets and all that kind of stuff. So is there anyone or groups out there that have been since day one?
I live walking distance from a butcher shop.
Oh, sweet.
There's a local butcher shop here in Livermore, and I don't walk there, but I mean, like technically it's walking distance, but they're always friendly. They always come in. Sometimes they even reach out to me, and it's called Livermore Butcher Shop. Sometimes they reach out to me like, hey, I got this going right now, if you're interested, so they're always touching base with me. They're super nice when I'm in there. Awesome. I've tried to get a couple of products in there before, but then big companies brought it in and they're like, we're just not going to be able to compete with that. But they're great people. They opened up like in 2020 in the heart of the pandemic, and so like it's like, dang, you guys, and they're thriving. So it's like, you got to respect somebody that could do that.
Awesome.
But other than that, I don't go very many places. Like I'll order that, I'll do that. And then, I'm your typical Costco dad. So, I got to run in there. I got four plus, the adults' mouths to feed. So you're always at Costco picking things up and trying that. But I try to do the butcher shop or your local grocery store and Costco. Those are my three.
Cool. And you said that was what was the name of the butcher shop? Livermore.
It's called Livermore Butcher Shop. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. They're great people. Fantastic. If anybody watching this is local to the Livermore area, give them a shout. Go check them out. They're awesome people. But I mean, obviously I work with other companies too. Big companies like Meat Church. I work with Whiskey and Barbecue Products, Meter Maid, Traeger. Those are, the main people that I work with. Cool. And they're fantastic as well.
Sweet. One more little thing before we wrap up here. We'll work on that another question actually, but how do, our gloves or nitrile gloves as a whole kind of work their way into a cook or something like that? Is it just the prep stuff, or can you use it sometimes to take stuff off the grill, or what does the nitrile glove kind of company
like? I'm pretty sure you could just put those things on me and never take them off there if it wasn't for, cross contamination through my cook.
For sure.
I always have at least one on, like, obviously the prep, you're touching raw meat, let's move it around, this, that, and the other. And then when you're applying the rub, boom, I'm patting it down with those gloves.
Sweet.
And then taking it off the grill onto, a searing surface. Whenever I'm touching the meat, anything like that, I always have a glove on, no matter what.
Gotcha.
Unless for some reason I run out, and that's happened before. But but that, and it's not just that; it's also prepping my grills. When I'm cleaning off the grill, taking out drip pans, taking out the grill grates, things like that. Those are on my hands. They're dirty. So let's sure that and they're thick. I've never had an issue with them breaking, ripping holes, nothing like that. So. I always buy a few at a time, make sure I have one in the kitchen, one in the outside area, and then one backup just in case before I have to, because I mean, like I said, I've ran out before and it sucks.
Well, we do
through the whole process. They're perfect.
Yeah. Cool. We like, supporting people who support us. So as you need gloves, we'll get them out to you. We finally got shipment in and everything. So we do want to thank you for, supporting us through everything and being patient with us, because I know it's kind of hard there for a minute. A lot of our customers weren't able to get gloves, or they were paying extravagant amount for them. So thanks for sticking by our side, and we'll continue to take care of you for sure and support you and love the food you do.
Thanks, man. I got to give credit. I got to give credit to a couple of people too, because
for sure.
I mean, we talked about the journey and everything on Instagram and, the connections, but, I've picked up and learned and am very grateful for it. Everyone knows him, Benny Kendrick.
Yeah.
He's been able to put me in a lot of awesome situations. Like he's helped me out with obviously Traeger, and
Sweet.
you know, he's done a lot for me in this whole entire process. And I mean, next to my family, you know, he's done the most for me. And so I really appreciate him and my family, Rose Barbecue. They've supported me since I think like 4 months into this journey, and we've stuck by each other's side, helping each other out. And
Sweet.
there's a few others, but those two have been huge helps in my journey on this Instagram world.
Awesome. It's always good to have support for sure.
Oh, big time, bro. Big time.
Last question here. It kind of stumps a lot of the people we give it to, but if you could sit down, have a drink, or take someone out to dinner or something, and you know, sit down with them and have a chat, who would it be and why? Anyone in history, role models, idols, any of that kind of stuff.
All right, let's see. I watched a couple of your videos and I knew this was coming, and I was trying to think one. And you know, being a sports guy, I was like, it's got to be a sports guy, because like, I mean, obviously I love food and I love all of that, but
yeah,
I mean, like sports was my life, still is my life. And
sweet.
And I was close to being able to do it, but John Madden would be like,
sweet.
I'd love to just sit there and just like be like, bro, just talk. Like just like come on.
Yeah,
like,
I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, like I just like I just want to soak in what you know, what you understand, and what you see. And you know, I like, because I love football. Baseball is the love of mine, but football, like, man, I loved it so much. And I had a connection with him through one of my jobs.
Gotcha.
He was best friends with the owner and actually owned the property the restaurant was built on. And he used to come in all the time, but I mean, I'm not going to bother him while he's in eating dinner.
Yeah.
Or,
you don't want to be that guy. You know?
Yeah, he always hides. He doesn't want, like, he hides. He was a 6 foot something man, big old dude, so he was hard to miss. But
yeah,
you know, rest in peace to him. Unfortunately,
for sure.
Recently, but you know, it was he would be a fun guy to hang out and just chat with. And here's bam, boom, wham, here, and have fun with it.
Exactly. Cool. Well, Garrett, thank you again for, you know, taking your time on your lunch break. I know it's a sacred time in the corporate America world, so I thank you for opening up that time for us, and we'll continue to support you. Thank you so much. We're going to send you a little something. So after this, I'll DM you a couple other things, but awesome. Love talking to you. Until next time. Thank you.
I appreciate it, brother. Thanks
for reaching.
This was a great time, man.
For sure. All right. We'll see ya.
Take it easy,
Bye.
man.
Bye.